Okay, please do read that book in its entirety. I had a friend of mine who came up to me privately after I had spoken about corporal punishment, and she told me that she's about to leave her husband because he hits the kid, yanks him, he just manhandles him, and he's only 5 years old. I told her, look, I'm going to give you a booklet. You tell your husband he has to read that booklet. And she took it to him, he read it, he got it, he does not hit the kid, he's trying to mend his relationship, and the little boy went to his mom and said, Mom, who's the lady that made Daddy be nice to me? So that booklet is very powerful and very compassionately written, so I would really recommend that you read it. I want to talk to you too. Do you know that today, right now, in the United States of America, it is legal for teachers to hit and swat our children with a paddle in public schools? Yes. As unbelievable as that may sound, corporal punishment is still sanctioned in 21 states. I say the hitting stops here. Hi, I'm Paula Flowe, a credentialed teacher for over 25 years in schools across this country, from the East Coast to the Hawaiian Islands. Despite over a quarter century of teaching experience, I had never witnessed corporal punishment being administered against a student until I taught in a public school in Georgia. I was horrified when I saw a teacher use the palm of her hand to hit a boy in the head for not studying his word list. And I reported this to the school principal. But I was shocked to discover that such behavior was not only legal, it was actually sanctioned by the district superintendent. I knew then that it was time to act. That's when I began a campaign to ban corporal punishment in American schools called the Hitting Stops Here. In plain language, corporal punishment means punishing the body. And as it applies in school, usually means battering a child's buttocks with a flat stick or board. It is an archaic and barbaric practice imported from England to the colonies in the 1770s. A practice that is no longer even legal in England. Despite that fact, it remains legal in nearly half of the United States. And it is a practice that needs to stop now. In the 21 states that still sanction corporal punishment, teachers are allowed to spank, paddle, hit, or yank children. Disabled and mentally ill students living in these states are not exempt from any of the above punishments. In fact, the boy I witnessed being hit for not reading his word list was a special ed student incapable of identifying all the letters of the alphabet. By whatever method, it amounts to teachers being paid by our government to hurt children. The statistics are disturbing. Experts agree hitting children can cause psychological damage. This damage may lead to depression, substance abuse, shame, or the cycle of abuse. Is it any wonder when their teachers have given them their first powerful lesson on how to solve problems with violence? Some children have even been required to go to the hospital after being disciplined in schools. It is important to note that this type of violent punishment is disproportionately directed at black and brown children, particularly boys between the ages of 9 and 12, a crucial stage of childhood development. You might be wondering if the punishment fits the crime. After all, some children are difficult to control at times. While that may be the case, consider the following true examples of how corporal punishment is being applied today. A boy failed 3 classes while on a football team. He was paddled with a wooden paddle in front of his entire team. A girl was late for school. She was made to slap herself on her hand as hard as possible repeatedly with a flat piece of wood. She was only 6 years old. A 12-year-old in North Carolina was paddled so hard by the teacher that he had to be rushed to a hospital emergency room. Shortly after the incident, the teacher was promoted to vice acceptable. Although 29 states have already outlawed the use of corporal punishment in schools due to its harmful effects on children, this violent behavior by teachers will continue unless we stop and act together now. What if one of those children was yours? Would you want your child to be left without dignity and respect? Would you allow someone to put your child in a hospital? Shouldn't our Constitution protect children against cruel and unusual punishment? By now, I hope you're outraged. If you're wondering what you can do to protect children in this country from corporal punishment, you can start by learning about this subject on my website, thehittingstopshere.com. There you will find information and links that will direct you to the proper authorities. You'll find sample letters ready for your signature, written for kids as well, which you can send to the state legislators. There are also flyers and other materials that you can print out or order to help spread the word. There you will also find links to positive discipline methods for parents and educators, such as the one developed by Dr. Jane Nelson, which has been showing amazing results for 30 years. I am calling on Americans to keep our children safe from sanctioned violence in our schools. If you live in one of the enlightened 29 states, you can still help by petitioning the presidential candidate of your choice to add this change in law to their platform. An important fact to note is that the number of parents and educators against corporal punishment at home and school has surpassed the number who support it for the first time in U.S. history. I would like to leave you with these thoughtful words of Booker T. Washington. There are two kinds of strength: strength to push down and strength to pull up. Let us raise up our children with kindness, firmness, and respect. Let's require educators to teach our children in word and in deed to solve every conflict peacefully. And let's join together and ban corporal punishment from all of our schools. Let us join together in saying, the hitting stops here. Thank you.